Hi, I'm Alex Pault, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces. I'm here with my friend Yefim. He's opened recently a shop here in Wiesbaden called Zeit Wert, and I thought I'd come by and give my friend a little bit of support. How's it going, Yefim?
Good, thanks, Alex. It's going well. We just opened since May this year, and we enjoy it here. It's a beautiful location, and we got some vintage stuff to show you.
That's true, because we originally met you. We met in the city because you didn't have a shop.
We did, yeah. I remember we met. It was, I think, about a year ago or so, yeah.
Yeah, and you had that Omega that you were...
Yeah. It was a nice Amiga. I can't remember exactly, but with a beautiful blue face.
It was.
And, yeah, but it's gone now.
It's cool. You get rid of a lot of pieces, but then I've bought more pieces than that since you've opened the shop.
Which is good. You're good.
Bad for me, though.
No. I think you should consider it as an investment, finally.
Well, it is. And what I like about this place is that it doesn't focus on the watch as an investment piece as much as a watch as a vintage collectible. I would look at it, if you think about cars, you've got the shiny dealer down the street selling the used Ferraris and Lamborghinis and won't touch anything if it's not going to make him at least a 40% margin. And then you got the shop down the street where you could get your Volkswagen Carmen Ghia fixed and, they'll love your upholstery and all of that nice stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is your opinion on the way you... I just said what I think about what you do. What do you think about what you do?
We were thinking, what is the best way, what kind of watches to put in? We've got a couple of stores here in Wiesbaden, right? But they all concentrate on bread and butter stuff, like Rolex, obviously. I mean, we have a couple of Rolexes too. I mean, no doubt about this. But our focus is really on vintage. So going on back to the roots, vintage watches which are affordable watches, just not high-end vintage, overpriced, and maybe not in original condition. So we focus really on affordable vintage pieces, right? Of course, Amiga as a brand is a great topic of ours, right? But it's a mixture, and we want to really just create a mindset that it's good to invest in a proper vintage watch rather than buying, some kind of a fashion, called a fashion watch, for 200-300 euro whatsoever. Rather, invest in a good vintage piece. It's never gonna, disappoint you, and you could consider it easily as an investment. And we are very careful by selecting proper pieces, right, that are interesting in design and obviously good quality, right, and good shape.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But before we go any further, quick wristwatch check. What are you wearing?
Oh, today I have a Leonidas triple calendar, two-tone triple calendar. Yeah, like this maybe. Could you see that? It's a beautiful piece actually. Nice condition from the early 50s. So Leonidas is a precursor of. Am I right? Heuer?
I believe so. Or
yeah,
as part of the group.
Right. So Leonidas has been then incorporated by Heuer. And so the triple calendar with a Valjoux movement, it's a clean dial, a little bit of, functions in it. It's beautiful. And I think, two-tone, I mean, it's gold-filled. It's not completely gold case, but it has a good, great look. And I thought maybe a greenish strap would do it.
And it does.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my one of the oldest watches, actually the oldest watch in my collection, my Breitling Chronomat. I got it in the mid-'80s from a friend, and the memories the watch gives, especially from the fact it's one of the first great aviation chronographs. You got to love that kind of stuff. But let's take a quick look at what you've got.
Yeah. Good, Alex. Thanks for the question. I have selected 3 timepieces, which you could see here. Let's start maybe with this oldie one here. It's as you could see, it's a Rolex. It's Oyster case, Rolex Oyster Perpetual. A so-called pre-Explorer watch. Why pre-Explorer? Because Explorer is pretty well known, right? So the watch that has been on Mount Everest and nice tool watch. So this is actually the watch that came before. I pretty sure it's 1954. Fourth quarter, because you could see it if you open the watch on the case back, and it's got a beautiful movement, which is this from the early bubble bags. So it's an automatic watch. Yeah, it's this great dial, as you can see.
Well, one of the nice things about inventing the automatic movement is you get to make it a really cool name like Perpetual, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is like a patent which Rolex has on all the watches that is so-called perpetual, so automatic watch and water resistant, specific case.
Well, hence the oyster, right?
Yeah, the first off, yeah. So this one is yeah, it's a beautiful watch, isn't it? I mean, like the indices on the dial, the blue second hand. It's a very clean watch in terms of it's a three-hand watch, so you get second, minute, and hour indicated. Yeah,
I like the strap. It's a clean, simple strap.
yeah, yeah. It's a leather strap on. We have a neutral buckle on it. But we have some Rolex buckles as well. As you can see, it was actually not winded up, but I moved it a little bit, and the second hand runs, as you can see, Alex. And this,
Right up.
yeah.
Excellent point to make.
Yeah. So it's very sensitive, but it's very robust. Now, what I mean robust, if you get it properly serviced, I would say once in 10 years or whatsoever, it will run for eternities.
That's the beautiful thing about a well-made piece of equipment.
Yeah, right.
So let's go to the second one now.
Okay, what is the second one? So what comes after Rolex? It's Omega. Well, I have selected one. This is also displayed on our website as well as you can find it googling us.
Oh, what's the website, by the way?
It's Zeit Wert.net.
So ZEIT-WERT.
Yes, exactly. .net.
.net.
Yeah. So this one chosen here is a Seamaster Seamaster automatic from the late 50s. We got this watch from UK, I guess. Very rare watch if it comes to the dial because you got the ceramic
Beautiful.
yeah, numbers written on the dial, and it's very clean. It's very elegant too because the second hand is decentralized in 6 o'clock position.
Well, I love small seconds, and the applied indices are just sharp.
Yeah, the small second makes it very elegant look. But again, the case is not this thin cases as in many cases you got them on the Seamaster. It's a pretty thick case. It's a massive case here, and golden applications on the dial, and arrow-shaped hands.
It's a perfect suit watch for today because even though it's a smaller watch, suit watches are supposed to be small and elegant.
Exactly. Automatic movement, I believe. I don't want to just give wrong information. It's something with 2.8 something. It's not the 5. It's the predecessor of this as a precursor, because it's late 50s, right? You got the Seamaster. I could show it. You get the Seamaster horse on the back, yeah, which is a great thing. And I mean, the case isn't polished too much. I would say pretty much not polished in all that years, so you can still very clearly feel this logo on the back.
The camera a little bit better.
Yeah.
No, I mean, here, let's hold up here for the camera a little bit more.
Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting. I mean,
Out of curiosity, how much is that piece?
This piece, what would you think? What would you expect us to get from it? Well, it's under €1,000 actually.
I was thinking like it's probably in the 700, give or take.
It's a little bit more. It's 990 we're asking for. But don't forget, buying watch here at Zeit Wert, we guarantee you 1 year the watch is running properly. And if something happens, you come back and we fix it.
Guarantee's worth a lot.
Absolutely, because every time, I mean, we're here, we serve if a problem occurs whatsoever, and we guarantee because this watch has been checked previously by our watchmaker, right? Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And as you pointed out, for under 1,000, you can't beat a watch like that.
No, absolutely not. I would say it's going to be very hard to find a second watch like this with this dial. It's a rare piece.
Very nice. Now, the other one here is also an Omega, right?
Yeah. As I said, Alex, we will more concentrate on the Omega as a brand because I think this is something which is coming up. Like, I think the market is pretty much saturated if it comes to Rolex because the prices are kind of really going up like crazy. Nobody can, well, at least not everybody can enter this market, collect the market, and affording a Rolex. So I think Omega is a good watch to start with, and it's a good investment. Definitely good invest. So they're ramping up, so the vintage pieces are coming up. And so I got here a Mark II. Mark II, everybody knows Mark II. It's a good alternative to Speedmaster Moonwatch, right? But this one is specific. Why? We don't have the standard dial, which is the black dial, right? So this is a so-called racing dial on it, which is, yeah, very colorful and, again, a rare piece.
Yes, it is really nice, and it catches the eye.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It screams for a NATO strap with like an orange stripe on it.
Yeah, you can play with this. You can play with this, and so again, as we pay attention to the condition of the watch, so we're not gonna put every vintage watch and display it here and sell it here if it's not in a good shape. So we try to buy watches which are in a good shape, and this is one good example. So this is one from the early 70s, and the condition of the case is just beautiful. The original polish is still in there, so this we call it Sonnenschliff. I don't know the exact English word.
Well, it's brushed steel,
yeah.
And then the shoulders are the polished, and then it's brushed again. It's beautiful, a lot of textures, a lot of details in that watch. But then again, that's what you expect from a case from Omega.
Yeah, you would expect, but a lot of worn watches, if they're going to be worn continuously for a couple of decades and have been polished several times, you lose material and
look like a bar of soap.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is just everything is pretty much matching. So the band is matching. Again, you see the logo on the back, which is just in a good shape too. I'll just show it. Well, it's a little bit difficult to see, but you see again the seahorse, and the seahorse is still very visible. So the case is really very, has been not polished too much.
You probably didn't wear it very often.
Yeah, could be. The racing dial is not a tritium dial, so it has been at some stage replaced. But it's an authentic dial, and it's a racing dial, which is rare. It's a good investment because if you now look at the Moonwatch, it's going to value just crazy. And this is the next watch to come because it's the same movement. They share the same movement, which is the 861 manual wind Omega movement. Beautiful watch. Come by and take it in your hands and see and taste it here at Zeit Wert.
So hey, give us your address here in town so that people can find you.
Yeah, we're located in the city center, and it's actually directly at where the Landtag is, on the backside of the Landtag, Grabenstraße 9. Yeah, so a lot of nice restaurants, cafes, etc. Nice place to be, and we're lucky to be here. And yeah, we expect to come people that are interested and see watches taken in their hands, feel them. Because it's another thing if you buy something on the internet only without seeing watches, right?
Especially vintage.
Vintage is something you have to feel. You have to, take it in your hands and play it around. And
is the bracelet still tight?
Yeah, things like that. Bracelet tight. And what
does it run?
Yeah, what is aftermarket? What is genuine? Things like that. So it's always, I would recommend to come and buy those pieces in a store rather than buying them from the net, because you don't want to be surprised negatively.
Right. New pieces, I can see one thing buying them online, but vintage pieces, I've never had a really, really good experience with vintage pieces online. I've always been happy at the end, but something's always had to have been tweaked or fixed or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree totally. Yeah.
So hey, thank you so much. Yefim, I really appreciate you taking the time. And like I said again, this is a hobby site, so there's no commercial payment for this. I just did it because I wanted to give Yefim's shop a little bit of promotion. So subscribe to my site. Like I said, it's a hobby site, so I don't publish regularly. So if you subscribe, you'll get to know when I actually throw something back up online. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex.